President Trump's allies are eyeing his new legal fund. Experts are increasingly concerned about the Ebola outbreak, and Stephen Colbert is preparing to say goodbye. That's some of what we'll get to on the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Izin Akabawu, in for Hannah Jewell. It's Thursday, May 21st. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. President Trump's allies are already lining up to apply to his new $1.8 billion fund. This week, a legal deal established a massive fund to compensate people who claim to have been unfairly targeted by the justice system. No funds have been handed out yet, but a wide range of conservative figures have expressed their interest in the settlement fund. The fund is expected to go toward people charged in the January 6th attack, those who say they were wrongly prosecuted by the Biden administration, and those who tried to help Trump overturn the 2020 election results. Lawyers for those Trump supporters have said their clients are interested in making claims. Other conservative figures have said that they intend to apply for the fund when it becomes available. They include former Congressman George Santos, who had his sentence for identity theft and wire fraud commuted by Trump last year. But the fund is also being met with resistance. House Democrats have announced plans to investigate and potentially block the fund if they retake the House in November. Here's Representative Jamie Raskin of Maryland speaking yesterday at an unrelated House Judiciary hearing.
We've got many questions for everybody involved in this brazen and corrupt transaction. Mr. Chair.
He moved to subpoena Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and several others.
These individuals all possess critical insights into Trump's self-dealing scheme with his own agencies to create this fund and reward his supporters and friends. So I move that they be subpoenaed right now.
Also yesterday, 2 police officers who defended the Capitol on January 6, 2021, filed a federal lawsuit seeking to block the Trump administration's fund. Trump officials said they can build a 250-foot arch in DC without Congress's approval. That's number 2. The president wants to build a triumphal arch on Memorial Circle, a traffic roundabout near Arlington National Cemetery. But under federal law, that part of the city is considered protected land, and monuments built there require authorization from Congress. The Post reported yesterday that officials are arguing they do not need approval from Congress because lawmakers more than a century ago authorized a somewhat similar project that was never built. The administration's argument has been criticized by lawyers suing to halt the project. Outside experts and some Democrats say the plan defies precedent and is an attempted workaround of federal law. Number 3 is a Post exclusive. The White House resisted letting an American doctor with Ebola return to the US. Peter Stafford is an American doctor who was exposed to Ebola while working in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Yesterday, the Post reported that the White House pushed back on bringing Stafford back to the US. People familiar with discussions said the reluctance delayed the evacuation and care of Stafford. He was ultimately transported to Germany. Meanwhile, experts are becoming increasingly concerned about the Ebola outbreak in the DRC. Some believe the outbreak will be extremely difficult to contain because of a dangerous convergence of factors. There are no existing vaccines targeted to the species of Ebola that is already suspected to have killed 139 people. And global health officials say producing doses of the most promising candidate will take at least 6 to 9 months. Number 4. Former Cuban President Raúl Castro was indicted in the US. Yesterday in Miami, Justice Department officials announced that Castro had been indicted on charges of murder and conspiracy. The charges relate to the downing of 2 planes in 1996. 4 people were killed, 3 of them Americans. A federal grand jury in Miami alleged that Cuban military forces were acting on Castro's orders when they shot down the 2 civilian aircraft. The indictment was returned in April but remained under seal. In a press conference, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche laid down a warning.
Nations and their leaders cannot be permitted to target Americans, kill them, and not face accountability. President Trump is committed to restoring a very simple but important principle. If you kill Americans, we will pursue you, no matter who you are, no matter what title you hold, and in this case, no matter how much time has passed.
The indictment comes as the Trump administration has increased its pressure on Cuba as it tries to force political turnover. And it's just the latest example of the administration using its Justice Department to bolster its foreign policy aims. Elon Musk's company SpaceX has disclosed massive losses. That's number 5. In weeks, SpaceX will debut on the stock market. The company is expected to have a record-breaking IPO, but it has also reported $13 billion worth of losses since the start of 2023, according to a filing made public yesterday. Most of the losses were driven by xAI, Musk's artificial intelligence company that was founded in 2023. Earlier this year, xAI was merged into SpaceX. Overall, the company consists of internet provider Starlink and businesses including a commercial rocket, AI, and social media. While Starlink is profitable, the other businesses are not. However, SpaceX expects many of its future opportunities to come from AI, and Musk's compensation is tied to the company's financial performance. Number 6. It might feel like layoffs are soaring, but they're not. The job market feels precarious right now. There are plenty of news reports about well-known companies laying off workers, from Amazon to Meta and Nike. However, a close look at the numbers paints an interesting picture. About 1.2% of employed workers were affected by layoffs in March. That number has been steady for years outside the pandemic. And although AI has been blamed by several companies for layoffs, that's not the full story. Analysis of Census Bureau surveys found that more than 95% of businesses that use AI say it hasn't changed their worker numbers. Experts say the problem really lies in a lack of hiring. People looking for jobs face longer odds than they did a few years ago. Despite the data, many Americans feel like there are more layoffs, and experts caution that this distorted view could change worker behavior. And at number 7, the final episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert airs tonight. The Late Show is a television institution. It was created by David Letterman in 1993. Colbert took over hosting duties in 2015. But CBS announced the cancellation of The Late Show last July, and the final episode will go out at 11:35 Eastern tonight. For many fans and viewers, the cancellation carries the stench of suspected political interference. It came after CBS parent company Paramount agreed to pay $16 million to settle a Trump lawsuit over a 60 Minutes interview. Colbert in July called the settlement a big fat bribe.
Now, I believe that this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's big fat bribe. Because this all comes as Paramount's owners are trying to get the Trump administration to approve the sale of our network to a new owner, Skydance. Not the music I was expecting? Okay.
Trump has long been critical of the late-night comedy shows that roast him. And during his second term, his administration has taken action against the networks that carry these shows. The Late Show's conclusion also comes at a moment of seismic changes for the classic late-night TV format. As the years have gone on, people have turned to the internet for entertainment and away from linear television. But Colbert will remain busy after his show ends. In March, he said he was writing a new Lord of the Rings movie. All right, you're all caught up. If you enjoy this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you took a few minutes to leave us a review wherever you listen. It helps other people find us. I'm Izin Akabawu. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.